former director Jim Comey's. But the president has actually attacked McCabe for his wife running as a Democrat for the Virginia State Senate back in 2015. And anonymous House Republican sources are telling Politico that they are investigating whether Baker communicated with the reporter who broke that Trump dossier story. In fact, the reporter has denied Baker was his source. The president noted Baker's reassignment in a tweet on Saturday afternoon, adding, "Wow," and tweeted that McCabe is racing the clock to retire with full benefits, 90 days to go, along with another attack on the donations McCabe's wife received. John Pistole, who served as deputy director under Robert Mueller for 6 years, said it's disappointing to see how the criticism of the FBI is now being used to try to undermine the credibility of the Mueller investigation. I think they figured out they can't undermine Bob's integrity, so they're just going to go after whoever they can dig up any dirt on.
Ex-high-ranking national security officials reacted to the attacks on FBI leaders. Former acting CIA Director John McLaughlin shared Trump's tweet about McCabe, writing, "I've served in both Republican and Democratic administrations and have seen some unusual things, but this is some really strange stuff." Fired FBI Director James Comey wrote, "Sadly, we are now at a point in our political life when anyone can be attacked for partisan gain. James Baker, who is stepping down as FBI General Counsel, served our country incredibly well for 25 years and deserves better. He is what we should all want our public servants to be." Ex-CIA and NSA Director Michael Hayden tweeted, "Jim was and is a wonderful public servant." Former CIA Director John Brennan tweeted that he was donating to FBI Agents Association in Baker and McCabe's names, adding, "Andy McCabe and Jim Baker epitomize integrity, competence, and respect for rule of law. Not surprised Donald Trump fears them, along with the rest of the FBI." You know, and when we look at all of this in the context, Clint, of what seems to be a very specific goal by a lot of people who are Trump supporters in the White House itself to discredit various factions of the Mueller investigation. The one thing that a lot of people will point to is that for the general members of Congress, most of the members of Congress, and certainly the American public in general, from what they've heard, it's going to be very, very hard to discredit Robert Mueller. This is not a guy who, with a series of tweets or a couple of statements by some members of Congress, is going to suddenly fold or be looked at as somebody who has a political agenda. He never has in his entire career.
He was a Republican appointee. He's registered, I believe, as a Republican before. He did his 10-year term and was asked by a Democrat, you know, the President Obama, to stay longer than his 10-year term because he had done such a great job in the wake of 9/11 about rebuilding the FBI as an intelligence-led organization. He's got wide-ranging respect. And the other thing